around the corner, got them shades on my eyes. It's a pretty little thing by my side that's flawless. Why you niggas still chasing roaches? Collecting all this money on the roads like I'm homeless. A nigga like me.
Welcome back. This is Nicardo Media House. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whenever you're watching this video back on replay. Um, Thank you for keep supporting the videos. Thank you for smashing the like button and everyone that's commenting, giving their thoughts on the videos and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. It's mean a lot. Keep pushing the video out there, so other people can see the content and can see the good work. So yeah, this is the ninth edition of the FIFA Women's World Cup, and it's going to be the first time a FIFA Women's World Cup going to take part in two different countries, New Zealand and Australia, and this is the first time also it's going to take part in two different confederations. New Zealand played in the Oceanic Confederation, and Australia played in the Asian Confederation. This is the first time this edition of the FIFA Women's World Cup going to have 32 teams. The last time it's 24. They keep expanding. The women game is growing around the world. As you can see, the support, the sponsorship that's putting into the women game, it's good to see. Yeah, but US is a defending champion. They won this FIFA Women's World Cup 4 times. They won it back to back. They're the last two champion, and they are trying to win what no country has ever done in the men's or the women's game, to win a third World Cup on the bounce. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very good World Cup. The final going to take place in Sydney, Australia Olympic Stadium on August the 20th. So by then, you know who will be the crown, will be if US will be defending their title, or it will be a new crown on that day. But yeah, so in this tournament, you'd have like around 17 that are going to make their debut, their first ever World Cup appearance. Vietnam, Zambia, Haiti, Morocco, Philippines, Portugal, and Republic of Ireland. So those are the countries that are going to make their first ever World Cup appearance. Yeah, so we're gonna move on to all the groups. Going to preview the groups. Give my favorites to get out of the group. And a few details of the teams in the groups. So go ahead at Group A. Group A have Norway, one of the co-hosts of this tournament, New Zealand, Philippines and Switzerland. Straightforward. Norway and Switzerland expect to follow suit, but I think Norway will top the zone, and Switzerland will come second. But New Zealand is a very good team. They're going to be at home. They're going to play most of their games in Auckland, at the Eden Park Stadium, and they're going to have a massive crowd. They're going to use their home advantage, trying to get this World Cup underway. Trying to stop the Norwegian team or the Switzerland team from trying to get out of this group. New Zealand has never scored in a World Cup before. This is their sixth World Cup appearance, and they're yet to score a goal. So let's see if they can do this at home and disrupt this group. But as I said before, Norway and Switzerland should be out of this zone. Moving on to Group B. Group B have another co-host, Australia, Canada, Nigeria, and Republic of Ireland. Yeah, so Group B, starting off with Australia, they are the co-hosts, they are the favorites to get out of this group with Canada. Australia have Samantha Kerr, that's the striker, the captain. She played for Chelsea. Australia beat France in a warm-up game, just a build-up coming into this World Cup, 1-0. They played that game, I think it was in Sydney, and guess what? It was 50,000 fans watching Australia beating France 1-0, and it's massive, man. The women's game is growing, but Canada, they are the next one to get out of this group. Canada is an Olympic champion, and 40-year-old Sinclair is still going strong. She will be a big motivator on and off the pitch for this Canadian team. But she will be even a coach. She's very experienced. This is her last World Cup. This is her last chance to win a FIFA Women's World Cup. So let's see if she can do it. So this Republic of Ireland team, this is their first World Cup appearance. The last time an Irish team qualified for a World Cup, it was in 2002 when the men teams qualified. But moving on, Nigeria. Nigeria will be the one who's, if anyone should come out outside of either Canada or Australia, it would be Nigeria. Nigeria have a big striker, powerful striker. She played for Barcelona, Oshoa. She gone on to win 5 African Player of the Year award. So this Nigerian team, African play their football very fast. They're very athletic and they play aggressive. Moving on, Group C. Group C has Costa Rica, Japan, Spain, and Zambia. Starting off things with Japan. Japan has won this tournament in 2011 and 2009. This Japan team is a very technical team on the ball. They play organized. They don't really rush the football. They can play that quick transition game. As the Japanese girls, they are really quick. And this is a very younger Japanese team than previous World Cup. They are not that really deeply experienced. They're kind of in a rebuild process, but you can never write the Japanese girls off. But I think they would finish second in this group, and Spain would finish first. But Spain, their big striker Alexis Putellas, the Barcelona striker, she have won the Ballon d'Or back to back. She missed the Euros the last time when England won that when England won. But she's back and she's ready. This is a very, very good news for the Spanish camp. The players, will be very excited as they know they have someone that they can really depend on to score goals, can create, just by have a leader up front, who very experienced. So Group D, China, Denmark, England, and Haiti. I expect England should top this group, followed by Denmark. This Chinese team, they are Asian champions, but they are really powerhouse football in the Asian continent. But you still can't write them off. But I think England and Denmark should have enough to go through this tournament. But England, they have a couple injuries where Lee Williams, the defender, and Frank Kirby, they all injured. They're out of the tournament. But England, they are the European champions coming into this tournament, so they will be very motivated to win this tournament. As you can see back in the Euros, they got a massive support from the English fans, the press, and everyone. So moving on to Haiti, Haiti, they beat Mexico to advance to this World Cup. This is their first ever FIFA Women's World Cup. When I watched that game when they beat Mexico, this Haiti team is a very strong, physical, very athletic. They can play dirty at times, but they are one to watch in this group if they can create an upset. Moving on to Group E, Netherlands, Portugal, USA, and Vietnam. In this group, Vietnam, this is their first ever World Cup. But I think the US should have too much in this group. They finished first, and I think the Netherlands they will finish second. Portugal, this is their first ever World Cup appearance. But US, they have a winning mentality. They have depth. As I said before, they won this FIFA Women's World Cup the last 2 times. They are 4 times Women's FIFA World Cup champions. They're trying to win it for the 5th time. Their star player Megan Rapinoe. She had announced her retirement. She retired after the club season finished. This will be her last World Cup. So let's see if the U.S. women's national teams can go out and defending their title. So moving on, Group F, Brazil, France, Jamaica, and the Panamanian. This is Panama first ever FIFA Women's World Cup. I think it's a really young team. It would be a good opportunity to get experience, what to play on a big stage. But I think in this group, the French girls, they're gonna have competition, playing with this Jamaica team and this Brazil team. But I still feel like they will finish on top, and Brazil will finish in second position. So if anyone can create an upset between those two teams, it will be Jamaica. They have Khadija Shah. she played for Man City. She's very lethal. This Brazil team is a really very good team. This is well organized. They prepare well. As they have a very experienced manager. Pia Sundhage. She's a Swedish manager, so she has never won the FIFA Women's World Cup before. For a coach that caliber to never won a FIFA Women's World Cup, she really want to do it with this Brazil team. Brazil has never won this tournament before. The last time they go to a final, it was back in 2007 when Germany beat them. But yeah, Jamaica have a few English-born players in this squad. One of the highlights is Jude Spence. She's a very good player. She played for Tottenham. But moving on from Group F to Group G, Group G have Argentina, Italy, South Africa, and Sweden. You know, this is the only group. There is no debutant in this group. You know, but I think this group, Sweden is a massive force. They are third ranked team. And I think Sweden and Italy will come out of this tournament. Sweden is one of the top. The Swedish league was one of the top league in the world at one point. They are powers in women's football. But Sweden are out. But the Sweden defender, Anna Ludenvich, she has out of the tournament with an ankle injury. But there's still a quality team, across the pitch. They played a really organized game. They played at 4-4-2. But look out for that Swedish team. So the Italy team, this is their fourth World Cup appearance. This is the first time they're gonna play it in a FIFA Women's World Cup back to back. That is some issue. But this Argentina team, Argentinian women football is growing. They're investing more. The Argentine, they bleed football. This is in their DNA. They have that passion. So if anyone would create an upset, it will be Argentina in this group. The South Africa team, they just started sending out more players overseas, trying to play in bigger leagues so they can get more experience on the international stage. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very good tournament. More experience for this South African team. So moving on, Group H has Colombia, Germany, South Korea, and Morocco. This is another debutant team, Moroccan girls. They will coming into this tournament. They will grab this as an opportunity to get on the big stage. Trying to play very good, trying to impress scouts, trying to get better club teams, where they can go on and advance their career. But I think the Germans should have too much in this group and they would finish on top. And South Korea will finish in second position. But, in women or men football, Germany team, you just can't write them off. The German women team, they rank second. You know, they played really aggressive football. Their striker, Pop, she's a very powerful striker. She played for Wolfsburg in Germany. She's lethal in the air. Once you give her crosses, she can just finish. She's just a complete striker and she's a captain. You know, she's what 32, 33 years old. So, Pop will be leading this team. But the German coach, Vas Stecklenberg, he called up 20 out of 23 of the players that played in the last World Cup. So there's only three new players into in this German setup. I think the Germans are missing a few key pieces, going into this tournament with injuries. This FIFA Women's World Cup, man, a lot of girls, sitting out the tournament with ankle injuries, knee injuries, especially like ACL and stuff like that. You know, it's something, they've been talking about. But South Korea, this is their fourth ever World Cup appearances. They take in more than 50% of all the girls that played in the last World Cup. So they with more experience. So I think they will come out on second in this group. So that's it for the group stages. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you my top five teams that I have to win this tournament and why. So number one, the US. They have nine players that well experienced. Three of them will be going to four World Cups. Megan Rapinoe. These players, are very experienced. Um, Alex Morgan, these players played in many World Cup before, they have won it. So they have a really very good league in the US. They have a very good setup in the collegiate system. So they would have a very good squad, a very well organized squad. They have a very good midfielder. Name is Urs. She's very creative. So, defending champions, you can't write them off. They won 4 World Cups, so they are the favorites coming in for everyone. Second, yeah, so number 2 is Brazil. Marta is going into this World Cup highly motivated, as how Lionel Messi went into that 2022 World Cup. He won it. They expect Marta to do the same. But this Brazil team, they won the South American Championship. They went through that tournament undefeated. They have a very versatile squad. Most of these players can play in not 2 but 3 different position, you know. So they have a very good manager, Pia, and they're really preparing well. They have quite a few players now playing in the NWSL in America. That's the Women's Premier League in US. So yeah, expect Brazil to be one of the favorite. England, the Lioness, they rank number 4. They are the defending champions coming into this tournament in the Euros. They beat Germany in the final. So they have a few injuries, but the fighting spirit that England can push, you saw that when they host the tournament. The fans are with them. You expect the English fan to travel down to Australia and New Zealand. They really love their women team. The women Premier League in England is growing. They have a lot of talented world class players coming over now. So, I expect England is one of the favorite. Spain, this is a team that Alexis Putellas, she's a very, very good player. But, this Spain team, they pass around the ball, but they're very technical, man. They dominate all the games that they played. But the problem with this Spanish team, sometimes the lack of effort of shooting, they're more likely to enjoy passing the ball around. But this Spanish team is a very good team. Um, Number 5, the French girls. It's been a rough patch for the French. They hired the coach, Renard. He was coaching Saudi Arabia in the World Cup last year. So all the preparation for the French girl have started like 5 to 6 months ago. They have a few players out. You know, but key players is like Diani, the big center back Renard, Wendy Renard, and their striker up front. I think she is the leading goal scorer for the women team. Lee Sommer, she played for Leon, very good striker. So yeah, that's a preview for the whole FIFA Women's Tournament. Kicks off on July the 20th. I'll be doing previews on, Jamaica games, the US, Brazil, most of the big games in the group stage. But as soon as this competition reached the final 8, I've been covering all the games, reviewing the games. But yeah, I just want to say, man, support the movements, man. I've been putting out a lot of work, a lot of effort, good analysis about games, breaking down games tactically, so I just want everyone to just keep watching the videos, just support it, smashing the like, and I really appreciate everyone that's liked the videos and stuff like that. Thank you for watching. This is Nicardo Media House. Peace out, man. One love. Bless up.
In the city life, I'm feeling so alive. Drifting around the corner, got them shades on my eyes. It's a pretty little thing by my side that's flawless. Why you niggas still chasing routes?